ask that everyone just state their name in the microphone, as I don't know everybody in the room. It would just be easier if you could just say who you are and what village you represent. So we can start at the end of the dais.
Lucas Rickelman, Village of Bolingbrook.
Mary Alexander Basta, Village of Bolingbrook.
Al Stelmich, Village of Woodridge.
Mayor Yukich.
Mayor Yukich, Homer Glenn. I'm writing stuff down. Jim Bowen, Olson Stir.
George Schaefer, Village of Lamont.
Christina Knightsky Troike, Village of Homer Glen, Village Clerk.
Jerry Bryan, Village Manager, Homer Glen.
Mike Zimmerman, Tressler LLP.
Mark Stark, Odellson and Stark.
Mike Ray, Village of Bolingbrook.
Thank you.
Okay. I need approval of minutes for March 9th to 2020.
I'll make a motion. Woodridge.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Next, approval of the bills, March through June. We have Tressler for $140,000, $874.50. Stanley Consultants, $18,572.95. Jeff Ellis, $14,999.85. Jess Gula, Terman Strategic Communications, $150. Olson, Stark, Murphy, Frazier, McGrath Limited, $5,250. Do we do a motion for each one?
You can decide them, but we do need before we approve the bills, a motion to increase the July bill for Trustler by $48,139.50, totaling Trustler June to September billing to $164,147, which will change the total for all of the bills today from $315 to $364,049.30. I ask a motion to amend the bill listing.
Motion.
Second, Lamont.
Okay. To add to the Trustler one, it's ACR Reporting LLP, $2,210. Lauterbach and Armin LP, $6,120. Stanley Consultants, $6,475. And then again with Olson, Sturk, Murphy, Frazier, McGrath Limited, $5,250. Is there a motion for approval on all?
I'll make a motion.
Christine, could you call the roll?
Village of Bolingbrook.
Yes.
Village of Lamont.
Yes.
Romeoville. Homer Glen.
Yes.
And Woodridge.
Yes.
Okay. Discussion items. Is there a motion to accept the quarterly treasurer's report?
Make a motion.
Second, Lamont.
Christine, could you please call the roll?
Bolingbrook.
Yes.
Lamont.
Yes.
Homer Glen.
Yes.
Woodridge.
Yes.
Okay. We have a consultant's report, auditor presentation and acceptance. What was it?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brad Porter. I'm here on behalf of Lauterbach and Amen as the Financial Statement Audit Manager, responsible for the completion of the fiscal year 2019 audit cycle for the agency. This afternoon, I'll be walking you through just a couple pieces of required communication as part of the completion of that process. So, first, I'd like to start with a thank you to the board. It's very nice to be able to actually be attending a meeting in person in a suit. It's certainly one of the first times this year I've had the ability to do that, so it's great to see all of you. I'd also like to give a very big thank you to the Village of Woodridge staff who played an instrumental role in the completion of this audit process. From start to finish, we really do have a seamless line of communication They're tremendous to work with and make sure that we have everything that we need in a timely manner, especially given the challenges that we were posed with during the wrap-up phase of this audit this year with COVID. So thank you very much, Al, and your staff. The first piece of required communication I'd like to discuss this afternoon is what we call in the industry a SAS 114 letter. Statement on Auditing Standard 114 requires us to communicate whether or not we had any disagreements or difficulties that we had encountered over our audit process. I'm very happy to report that in the body of that 3-page letter you will find no such disagreements or difficulties. I'd also like to jump into the audit report to touch on a couple of the intangible components of this report. On page 1, you will find our independent auditor's report to the board. I like to look at this piece as the most important piece within the audit report. So in addition to stating your responsibility as management of the agency, which is to prepare and provide financial statements to us, we also state what our responsibility is as your auditors, and that is to generate an opinion over the financial statements that we are provided. Very happy to report, you will notice at the bottom of page 1 there that we have issued an unmodified opinion for fiscal year 2019, which states that we believe the financials are free from any material misstatement and that there are sound internal controls over the financial reporting function. So again, when it comes down to the fiduciary responsibility of those funds, Village of Woodridge is doing a tremendous job in their role as treasurer. So, moving on, I'd like to point out pages 3 through 7 represent our management discussion and analysis section.
Do you have a hard copy of what you're referencing?
I believe they were mailed out a couple months ago.
Anybody have on the day of that copy?
I'll certainly touch base with Darren following this presentation. I apologize. So I just wanted to point out, again, I'm not really going to cover too much of the numbers. I will discuss that in shortly, but pages 3 through 7 represent our management discussion and analysis section. So here you'll find a lot of detailed information in narrative format of the fiscal year's highlights. I'd also like to point out from page 9, we did see an increase in net position this year of $180,000 over the prior year, which was primarily attributable to professional services expenses coming in at $142,000 under budget, paired with interest income of $38,000 for the year. Typically, we would provide a management letter stating any significant items that we feel the board should be made aware of. I'm very happy to report we have no management letter for this year. So you will note that we have no comments as a result of our current year audit process in terms of best practices, internal control recommendations, or anything along those lines. So, that concludes my presentation. I will certainly touch base with Darren following the meeting.
Are there any other questions? Okay.
We'll need a motion to accept the audit. I suggest that it be made subject to the treasurer's approval, because we don't have a hard copy here. And then Woodridge can go over it and make sure they're in agreement.
In terms of Woodridge, we are in agreement with the audit.
Do you have a motion to accept the audit?
I'll make-
The treasurer's approval.
I'll make the motion.
You have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Christine, could you please call the roll?
Bolingbrook,
Yes.
Homer Glenn,
Yes.
Lamont,
Yes.
Woodridge.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we have anyone out in the audience that has a question or comment? Anything to say today, or? Okay.
Mr. Mayor, do you want to discuss the future meeting dates?
Discussing what?
The future meeting dates on the agenda?
Yeah. The future meetings are going to be December 14th, 2020 in Lamont, March 8th, 2021 in Romeoville, June 14, 2021, Woodridge, September 13, 2021 for Bolingbrook. Does that fit everyone's schedule?
Mr. Mayor, I'll just note, if I could, the trial is scheduled to start December 14th, so there may be a few people missing that day, but at this point, given the uncertainty of firm trial dates and all that, we'll be scheduled, so just keep you posted.
Okay. Okay. I need a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing pending litigation.
So moved.
Second.